Good morning. Yes, it's Saturday morning. It's me, Michael, and you're listening to my Saturday soundtrack, and I'm so excited. Did you hear my new intro at the top of the show there? Thanks to Paul for setting those up, and it's getting us off to a great start, and thanks to Paul for the last couple of hours. So strap yourselves in because we've got a show and a half for you today. Our studio has never been so full. I've got three guests with me, all from our Learning and Development Department here at Sheffield Teaching Hospitals. Amanda, Joe and Shadab. We'll talk to those shortly and they'll introduce themselves. We've also got a couple of our usual features, definitely a guilty pleasure and a sing-along anthem. And as always, there's your chance to pick the songs. You can WhatsApp me 07900 339 429 or email studio@sheffieldhospitalradio.co.uk. And I hear there's a football match on tonight, so I might have to play a couple of songs for that. But before we do, they say we don't need no education. I think we do, which is why we've got learning and development on. Here's a bit of Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd there. Another brick in the wall. So yeah, you join me for another fantastic Saturday. I love having guests on my show, and it's going to be a good one, I can tell, with the chat we've already got going on in the studio here today. By the end of the show, when it's really, really hot, maybe it'll be a bit different. But let me introduce my guests, or let me ask them to introduce themselves, because they're all from our Learning and Development Department here at Sheffield Teaching Hospital. So I'm sure you're used to standing up at the front of a classroom and tell us all about yourself. So Amanda, shall I start with you? Tell us, what's your name and where'd you come from?
Morning, Michael. I'm Amanda Milthorpe and I'm the Healthcare Careers team coordinator, and we do lots of different stuff, and the main reason we've come to talk to you is because we got you to come and speak at one of our courses this week. So we've run the Rising Star course this week, and you did a fantastic presentation for us on day one. So we do all sorts of different stuff as a team. There's 4 of us within Learning and Development in the Healthcare Careers team, and we look after apprenticeships, employability programmes, schools engagement, maths and English programmes, and the partnership with our local college. So
and you're going to tell us about all of those throughout today. So just run those again. Apprenticeships. We'll get into it, but just go through the list. So apprenticeships,
employability programmes, and school engagement are our main 3 work streams.
Okay. And do you head up this department of 4?
I do indeed. I look after the team. So I was previously the apprenticeship lead, and then stepped into that role about 2 years ago. So yeah, we have a varied portfolio of work, and we're always out and about meeting people. We're quite public facing compared to lots of the other teams that are helping staff. So yeah.
And healthcare careers, yes. You should say. So
everything to do with raising awareness of NHS careers, and especially those lesser known ones.
So non-clinical as well as clinical.
Okay. Very much so. Right. Yeah. So we work.
I presume there was another department that was non-healthcare careers, but
we do the lot. Yeah.
Great. And so Shadab's, you're in Amanda's team.
I am, yes.
So do you want to kind of introduce yourself?
Morning. So I'm Shadab Kanani, and I'm a project coordinator within the Learning, Education and Development. So I am in the Healthcare Careers team. I joined about a year ago into this team, and so far I'm loving it. So yeah, as Amanda said, we do quite a varied role within our jobs, daily jobs. Yeah.
And project coordinator, what does that mean?
As many NHS roles are there, they are quite, I think, vague. But yeah, project coordinator, we are basically dabble in everything. So it's mainly education and education projects. So we've got anything from events, programs like the Rising Star, which Amanda just mentioned. We've got the school events and the stalls. And then at the moment, we're also doing a lot with using a lot of the IT systems and trying to go digital and making a lot of the systems so that we are doing less paperwork and less admin, automation of a lot of the processes that we are doing. So because we're such a small team, we're trying to basically make it easier for ourselves and reach out to all the requests that we get.
Amazing. So then, Joe, you're not in this specific team, is that right? But you're in Learning and Development, but you are our Rising Star.
I am a Rising Star. No, so I work
with the Learning Education and Department team, but I work for the amazing Palms team.
So Palms, tell us about Palms. What does that stand for?
So Palms stands for Personal Achievement Learning Management.
You can't read my writing. We were all having a chat before. Shall we own that? We were all having a chat before. Shadab got us there, didn't we? I think we all came up with one letter each. So you work for the Palms team.
For the Palms team, yes.
And just what is the Palms? So we've kind of said there, I've forgotten it already now. So it's a personal achievement learning management system.
So the everyone in the trust will be aware of Palms, because Palms is where you do your main training. So new starters will do their induction, all their training will be recorded on Palms, and then as they progress with STH, any other training will be done on Palms, recorded on Palms. We've got a lot of e-learning, so we've got mandatory courses that everybody will need to do. We've got JSET courses, which are job specific to role, but then also on Palms you will find all your individual courses, such as apprenticeships are on there. Apprenticeships, really everything, just local department-led courses.
So kind of database,
day-to-day,
intranet kind of.
Yeah.
And you coordinate that, update that, make sure it's always running.
So a lot of my job can be something as simple as resetting somebody's password to get into Palms, to sorting training out. Things don't always go right and things don't update, so we have to update people's courses. But anything related to Palms,
You're the
that's what I sort
person.
out.
Fantastic. And we kind of said you are Rising Star. Amanda, you touched on Rising Star programme this week. Do you have a certificate for that?
I have got a certificate.
Well, we'll have a look at that later when we talk about it. So brilliant. Well, I'm really pleased you've taken out Saturday morning to come and talk to me. That's fantastic. We'll come back and talk about, and I've been calling it learning and development. That's terrible. But you said there, just it's learning, education and development. Sorry about that. I messed that education piece out. But let's go with our first song, and then we'll come back and have a bit more of a chat. So, Amanda, I think you picked this song.
I did. Yeah, it's a favourite of mine and my go-to karaoke song, so I thought I'd put it on the list. So, yes, it's Carly Simon, You're So Vain.
Brilliant. Here we go, and we'll come back and have a chat. You were doing karaoke to that, Amanda, all the way through. That was good.
Good job the mics weren't on.
So if you've only just joined us, it's me, Michael. I've got Amanda, Joe and Shadab here from our Learning, Education and Development Department. And we were talking just before in your kind of introductions, clearly all the staff across STH benefit and interact with the Learning, Education and Development Department. So for someone who hasn't come across your department, which I'm sure there's very few, but Amanda, do you want to just kind of tell us, how would you describe what the department provides for our organisation?
Yeah, so we work centrally with pretty much everybody. We've got the learning, education and development side. We've also got the medical education side as well. So we're one team within a big team of people doing lots of work. So we have the guys running the learner management system, Palms. We've got colleagues running moving and handling training, which is incredibly important for staff. We've got the placement teams that look after all our student nurses and their placements, and all the AHPs as well. So we do a really varied and a big variety of work. We have teams that look after the CPD funding that we receive.
So CPD being?
Continuous professional development, and that's for our nurses, AHPs and midwives. So it's basically investing in our staff in every way we can. So everything we do is for the benefit of the end user, the patient. So,
and how do you think patients benefit from training? Because surely our staff get trained, they go to university, they go to college, they have their skills, they're in their job. Why do they need to keep training?
Well, it's really important to keep up to date, to keep learning, and we all do something different every day, and we're always learning. So I didn't mean to say that, but that's one of our things, isn't it? We are always learning.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, it's incredibly important to keep up with modern techniques, more changes to regulations, and to be training our own as well, to make sure that we're existing staff who've got talent and might not have gone to college or might not have gone to university, get those opportunities to develop at work and come through the ranks. And we've got loads of people that have historically maybe not realised their full potential in traditional education, but then have really blossomed within a more practical or work-based learning environment.
And if I bring you in, Jay, because in my head I've kind of got, there's some training, and you referred earlier to mandatory training and job-specific training. So almost some training that people have to do, and then I might come to Shadab and ask, kind of, there's some training that people might choose to do. So for particularly our patients and kind of community listening, mandatory training, what might that involve, and why do we need to do that?
So our mandatory training is really, I don't want to say basics because it's very, it's really important training, but our mandatory training is really important because it's the training that keeps patients safe.
Okay.
And staff, but primarily it's patient safety.
And so what kind of things, give us, 2 or 3 things to give us a feel what might be in that?
Just something, so you would have fire safety.
Okay.
So, fire safety for a hospital is absolutely vital, because it's not just a case of there's a fire alarm going off, we need to get everybody out. We've got people in beds, we've got people who can't literally just get up and go to a fire. So it's all about fire safety. We do moving and handling, safeguarding, both adults and children's, which is extremely important. Life support, so resuscitation, those kind of courses.
And I presume part of your job is working out who needs what kind of training and tailoring that. But I presume things like fire safety, does every member of staff
Every member
do
of
that?
staff would do fire safety.
And then
training.
life support would
Life
be the
support,
clinical staff.
Yeah, safeguarding would be for every member of staff. So we would do a different level safeguarding. So I'm clerical. So I would do a level 1, whereas your clinical staff would go as high as a level 3, depending on their
That's a huge amount of training. I mean, 20,000 staff doing, 10 a dozen or so mandatory courses.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a huge undertaking.
Yeah. Some courses are 1 yearly, some are go up to 3 yearly. So, your mandatory and JSET courses are continuous.
And different ways in which they're provided, are they all face-to-face? Are they online?
A mixture. So you've got online, you've got your online courses, face-to-face, and then with a lot of courses, they're blended. So there'll be some e-learning. That's with resuscitation. So you'll do an e-learning package, and then you will do the face-to-face practical.
Right.
And with those courses, all elements have to be completed. Safeguarding, depending on the level. So safeguarding... level 1 could be something, just an e-learning package, but if you are looking at safeguarding level 3, you're looking at an e-learning section, then you've got an extra 4 hours additional learning, then a self-declaration. So it's not just a quick fix, let me go on this computer, watch this e-learning and say, and I've done it. It's not that. It isn't that. It's not that kind of thing. It is a learning tool designed to keep patients and ourselves safe.
I was about to say, going back to what Amanda said, I suppose that's the kind of driver. If our staff don't know how to respond in a fire, don't know how to have the most up-to-date resuscitation technique, then it's our patients and the staff, as you say, that are at risk.
Yeah.
Gosh. And then, Shadab, then I presume there's then other courses where people may choose as part of their own development to go on and do something. What kind of things would there be there?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a variety of courses. So there's anything from apprenticeships and then to short courses as well that they can sign up for on Palms. And that again comes from the learning education funding that we are given. And so, the staff can go on for anything like project management courses, like Prince 2 courses that are very short, or they can do an apprenticeship. There's, a year or 18 months, or some of them are 3 years. Wow. So depending on what they want to do and what their capacity is within their team, absolutely, they can just choose any courses that suits them.
And how do you decide what courses to put on? Because that must be a really tough job in terms of, why project management? Why admin and clerical? How do you decide?
Yes, so a bit of it is from trial and error, really. Okay. So we've just gone through the years and seen what people respond to the most, and then we've got obviously feedback from learners and the conferences that we do, like the 1, 2 to 4, and we've had the education conference before, or the TED LED TED Talks as well. So we kind of see what people respond to, and they also provide feedback on what training they want to see and what they are more interested in. So we take that all on board, and that's how we put our training on. Yeah.
And sorry, Amanda, did you want to go on?
I was dying to say something.
Yeah.
Sorry. We ask as well. We ask departments what they need. So we often we have our LNA. We love an acronym. It's the Learning Needs Analysis. So we're asking people all the time what they need, and then we see if we can fund it in some way. So it's a very difficult, because to fund everything we can't. So we have to really pick the things that are needed the most. So, and that can, help the trust achieve what we need to as well. So yeah, there's things we've done specifically, like we've done recently for admin staff to engage in some customer service training. We've also looked at we do lots of different stuff. So yeah, we're responding all the time to the needs of different departments and what they need to achieve. And ultimately, the patient.
What would you say off the top of your head are the most popular courses? Do you have a sense of what?
Oh, that's really hard, isn't it? There's so many. I don't.
Sorry, I'll let you have a think. I'm putting you on the spot.
Sorry, I don't.
Or anything you've put on and thought, when one person turned up, maybe.
Yeah. So. We're doing at the minute quite a lot of CPD courses for clinical educators. So we're just one department, but out there in the trust there are hundreds of people who are on wards, who are in the workplace teaching and observing students. Because obviously we're a teaching hospital, so we have students across everywhere in every discipline, and there are clinical educators across the trust who are looking after them. And so we're actually doing some coaching skills for our clinical educators so that they're better prepared and able to support them in the workplace. So yeah.
And I think we're finding that having packages ready for these sort of CPD programs, our staff find it easier rather than going around and researching for themselves, because they're so busy, and trying to find programs that would obviously benefit themselves. And researching while doing such busy roles, I think they sometimes struggle. So we're finding that packages like the CPD educator program package that we've done, and it's like loads of different like coaching and learning how to having an engagement session, like an engagement teaching session and stuff. So it's like different training courses within that. But we also did something similar for the workplace mediators and the Freedom to Speak Up guardians and champions. So we're kind of trying to aim it at different levels based on the requests that we get and the LNAs that Amanda mentioned, because it's just so easier for them to just kind of go, this package is aimed at me, I'll see what I'm interested in.
Fantastic. Well, I want to kind of run down all those different courses, but let's have another song. Shadab, I think you've picked this one. Good choice.
So it's a bit of a SCOP 7 reach, and it's a bit of a nostalgia, and also I think it fits nicely with the program that we've just done, Rising Stars.
We'll come back and talk about that next. Thank you. Well, that's quite fitting, isn't it? Here Comes the Sun, the Beatles. It's me, Michael. It's my Saturday soundtrack, and don't forget, you can help me pick the songs. WhatsApp 07900 339 429. And don't forget, if you want to listen again to today's show, you can do that on our Facebook Reels, and now I'm pleased to announce on our Spotify. So look up Sheffield Hospital Radio on Spotify, and you can listen to the Learning and Education Development team from Monday. But let's jump straight back in. So Joe, I met you this week because you did the Rising Star program. So you obviously provide and support learning, education and development, but then you engaged in it yourself. So why did you do the Rising Star program?
So I did Rising Stars because I just saw it as a really good opportunity for me personally to take some time out take some time out and just really look at myself, opportunities, expectations as well, opportunities, and just really so it was a 3-day course with sort of like different workshops, and really to find something out about myself as well. My background is actually retail, so I was in retail for over 30 years. Came to STH for the vaccination centre, and then obviously now work for Palms as admin. So I always drawn sort of like my skills as people skills, what I learnt in retail. And so while I do this job, I think with any job, you tend to just go and do it. You tend to go and do that job.
Don't think about it.
Don't think about it. Go to work. I myself go to work, love my job, love the people I work with, love the job. So I would say I am happy, and I'm quite happy to spend the rest of my days, career, working where I work now for learning, education and development. However, I think you do want more as well. You want more for yourself. And so this was fantastic for me to learn some more skills, and also to step back and take some time for me and learn about me as well, and what I can do and what I think I can't do.
And that's quite a privilege, isn't it? 3 days out to be able to do that.
Definitely, yes. Yeah.
And so what did you learn about yourself?
I learned quite a bit about myself, actually. Just going back to the course, I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I'd got my expectations, and obviously speaking to Amanda, I knew what the course was, but it still wasn't what I expected it to be. It was just the 3 really, really good days. And I did learn a lot about myself.
Right.
I learned a couple of things that I already knew, but, to have it there.
Reinforced and
also as well, I think it's a confidence boost as well, because it's there. But you get you just get bogged down with the day-to-day things of your job, what you just do naturally. To go and do some things, and it makes you think, and you think, oh, actually, yes, I can do that. Yeah, I would be quite good.
And what will you be taking in differently when you go back into work? Have you been back into work?
I went back to work yesterday, so it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah, so did you take anything different back?
A little bit. I mean, yesterday was a catch-up day.
Yeah.
So a catch-up day. But what was funny is a colleague said to me yesterday, he says, I've recently had a holiday. So a couple of weeks ago, I came back from Spain. And he said to me, you've come back completely different. He says, you seem more invigorated than you did when you went to Spain.
Yeah.
So, so when somebody notices as well, but I did go in probably, like I said, it's with a lot of training, it's a confidence boost anyway. Yeah. And it's good.
Brilliant. Yeah.
So
I can see how animated you are talking about it and things. That's brilliant.
I did learn a couple of things that I don't like.
Okay, to do, or about yourself?
About myself, yeah.
Really?
And that was through conflict resolution, just we're dealing with conflict.
Yeah.
And then the eye opener for me was so we did a section on conflict resolution, and it was actually something that started off like funny. We were all like ha ha ha, and then but when we moved on to human factors, about behaviours, I realised that the way sometimes I deal with conflict, which I just would like to add is not a bad way, just a personality trait. But anyway, going back to human factors, when you're looking at human factors, that to me, that was the biggest eye-opener, was how I deal with conflict does really affect the human factors. And so that, for me, is a big thing to work on for me. So
brilliant. Yeah, great to hear. And so, Shadab, if I come to you, so there was obviously some elements there around kind of self-learning, self-development, the kind of conflict management. What else is on the Rising Star program?
So the program is delivered by the Sheffield College. We have a great partnership with them, and the Rising Star is aimed at anyone that is in a band 2 to 4. So they're basically aimed at anyone who's interested in developing and are eager to learn. It's like, as Joe said, it's a great confidence booster. It is an intense 3-day program because it's all day and it's every day back to back. But the delegates have really responded positively to it on every single cohort that we've had. We've had great responses. And, it gives them practical tools really to take away and use in their day-to-day jobs, and not even in their jobs, sometimes in day-to-day life. Because as Joe mentioned, conflict management, you can use that in anywhere really, and having confidence anywhere, that's not going to hurt, is it? So I think it's also a great chance for colleagues to meet people from different departments and different roles that you wouldn't necessarily meet on in a day-to-day job. So if you're in an office, you might not meet someone in a clinical area. So it's a great chance for them to network and meet different people and learn about their experiences as well. So I think it's such a great program.
And how many were on the program?
So we had 22 on this program.
And you said you've done this previously. How many cohorts now?
So we've had 3 cohorts.
Wow.
And we're hoping to get more, but obviously that's depending on what funding we get.
Yeah. So Amanda, why do something like that? So it's 4 band to 4. So for people that don't work in the trust, so that's kind of admin and clerical staff, clinical support workers, there are a couple of finance people.
It all came about from, so we've mentioned the Sheffield College, and we work with them really closely on projects and with apprenticeships. So we a few years ago we formalised a partnership with them to deliver several different key courses, and Rising Star is one of the programmes that came out of that partnership, and it was really to focus on those individuals in the bands 2 to 4 who sometimes don't always get access to as many opportunities to develop, and we wanted to pitch the training at a level that would suit them, that would give them practical knowledge and tools, and it's developed from that. We've adjusted the content occasionally. We try and keep it up to date. We try and address the different issues that maybe are happening in the trust, or national directives that we're receiving. So we don't shy away from talking about the current kind of climate that we're working in. So it's very current. It is a really good opportunity to see how others deal with things in their working environment. So we are, we're all admin staff. We can't save lives, but we like to think that we're helping others that can.
Absolutely.
And we like to mix and find out. Everybody's problem is the same. It's just different where you're working. And in our trust, which is such a huge organisation, and there's so many staff, we'd love to do this all the time. But like you say, finding 3 days to come out of work is real privilege, but it's really important for people to protect some time for themselves and to reflect on what they're doing, evaluate how they've been working, learn new skills. And Jo was saying she'd mixed with different people and was surprised at the different areas they were working in and the things they were doing.
Which in itself must be really helpful, just learning from one another as much as the people leading the course.
Yeah. One thing that you'll have picked up as well, Michael. One of the things in that room, the energy was amazing.
Yeah.
The room was.
I thought it was just me. That
the room was just full of people who were just so passionate and shared their experiences. It was an eye opener for me. You get just caught up in your own little world. But those people there, they were so passionate about what they do for themselves and the patients. It was just such an amazing day to be involved with those.
And thank you for joining in and helping us. Because,
thank you for inviting me.
No, you're very welcome, and it's really important that somebody who is in your position comes and meets people, and they really value that.
No,
so,
appreciate
and
it.
we really, really thank you.
And I think it is that point about we all learn different things, don't we, from each other. So no, I definitely came away hearing some of the different views. We had a good conversation about some of the challenges that our staff have in booking transport and our patients travelling from broader South Yorkshire. So no, really helpful. So I'm going to take us to a song. I can't believe it's nearly 11 o'clock. I definitely want to hear from you about apprenticeships and the work that we do around maths and English. But there's a request in from Keith for MLA, who's somewhere probably lost in the middle of the Lake District doing a Duke of Edinburgh award. It's Take Me Home, Country Roads. Country roads there. Well, I can't believe it, but we are almost through on the first hour. So coming up in the second hour with the Learning, Education and Development team listening, we're definitely going to talk about apprenticeships, which are absolutely for existing staff, not just people coming in to STH and the NHS. And particularly one that I'm really interested in, and I'm really pleased that we provide at STH, is our maths and English. I'm forgetting my English there, maths and English. So keep on listening after the news. But I thought, given this week and the sad news of Bonnie Tyler, it was only appropriate that we play a Bonnie Tyler hit. Speak to you after the news. Welcome back. It's hour 2 of my Saturday soundtrack here on Sheffield Hospital Radio. Don't forget, you can help me pick the songs, but I've got Joe, Amanda and Shadab here picking some fantastic songs. That was Don't Stop Me Now with Queen. We've got some more coming up, and we're learning all about the work that our Learning, Education and Development department do. So, Amanda, tell us a bit. We've talked about some of the different things, but you mentioned apprenticeships earlier. Now, in my head, if you said apprenticeship to me, I'd kind of think of someone leaving school to become a car mechanic or a plasterer to be an apprenticeship. Have I got the right idea?
That happens, but also it's a mixture of different things now. So apprenticeships changed back in 2017, and there's lots more different ways of training in multiple different occupations. So they're aimed at all ages, all levels. We get people say, I'm too old for an apprenticeship. No, you're not. Absolutely not. So it is just a job, whether it's a brand new job or you're in your existing job, plus a training course while you're working. So it's a difficult undertaking. It's hard. But it is an incredible way of learning whilst you're earning and also gaining a professional qualification. So, yeah.
And so tell us a bit about the levels. So kind of broadly about, so who are these aimed at? What levels might people do? What qualifications do they get at the end of it?
We've got a mixture of different things. So we've got our flagship Proud Apprenticeship, which is a level 2 apprenticeship, which we run alongside the college again as part of our partnership. And that is in customer service business admin. And that is an entry-level role into the trust, and you spend time studying and working in a administration customer service environment. And that can
so
be
you would
anywhere.
apply from that not being an STH employee, you would become an STH
you
employee.
Would. It's a fixed-term opportunity with us, but it's an entry into the trust. And again, it can be any age. We've had people change careers, come back to us and start again and come through the apprenticeship route.
And level 2?
Level 2 is equivalent to GCSE.
And how long does that take, that apprenticeship?
That one is a fixed term contract of 15 months.
So someone might be finishing school, might have been working for 30 years and think, I want to get into STH. Yeah. They see this to apply for. It's 15 months. Yeah. They get that experience and then GCSE equivalent qualifications.
They do indeed.
At the end of it.
Yeah, so we've just recruited to a new cohort of the Proud Apprenticeship, and that is due to start in September. So we've got, I think, about 11 or 12 people joining us on that. Yeah. We also have entry-level roles across things like pharmacy, and a big one for us is dental nurse. Right. We recruit between 10 and 20 of those a year. And
again, they come out with a qualification. Yeah. They're earning while they're working. Yeah. You had about earning while they're learning. And how long's a dental technician one?
So the dental nursing apprenticeship is 18 months.
Okay. And they're a qualified
dental nurse at the end of the programme, And as a trust, we also teach on that. So our amazing experts over at Charles Clifford are teaching on the qualification. So again, it's part of our partnership with the college, and we do the teaching and training at Charles Clifford Dental Hospital. So it's an incredibly well thought after course. And so we're training our own apprentices plus apprentices out there in the community for other organisations as well.
That's amazing. And then you do some degree apprentice level courses?
We do. There's a whole host of different things at, say, level 4, level 5, level 6.
Is that degree?
Well, level 4 is kind of equivalent to first year of uni,
Okay.
foundation degree.
Yeah.
Level 6 is equivalent to a full undergraduate degree.
Right.
So we've done things historically in radiography, physiotherapy, occupational therapy. And again, it's a mixture of either we'll recruit externally or we'll recruit internally,
Right.
or it's somebody who's in a role and their manager can support them with the time to train, and we can use it as a professional development tool.
And so that's really interesting. I appreciated that. So if you were external and you wanted to do a degree, I'm
Yeah.
asking for a friend's
Yeah.
daughter. If you're external and you're looking to do something like that, where would you see that advertised?
It's a job. So it's
Right.
on any normal job website. So NHS Jobs, Health Jobs UK, our website. So they do get advertised. They are few and far between.
Yeah.
They are incredibly popular, and they are really hard to find because we've got undergraduates as well as apprentices. But it's a very, very competitive market.
And the types of roles and careers that they would be?
So again, those ones that may go external would be things like radiography, ODP, which is operating departmental practitioners. So there's a variety, and then there's lots of opportunities internally for staff. So we mentioned Palms earlier, and we've developed within the Palms platform what we call our apprenticeship dashboard. So there's a section in there where you can, as an existing member of staff, go and have a look at what we've got that's procured, that's available, that might be in your areas. So things like in procurement or in estates. There's degree apprenticeships in building services. We've done things in clinical engineering, healthcare science, laboratories. So there's a whole range of different things across clinical, non-clinical areas. And all at different levels, and staff can go and look in Palms on our SharePoint pages, and we've developed it so you can kind of search by professional group. So if you're looking at maybe being a nurse or midwife, you can go and look there, or if you're actually admin and clerical, then you can go and look in that section. So yeah, there's things like we mentioned project management earlier. We can do that via the apprenticeship route. So there's such a lot for people to choose. We're experiencing a few changes in the apprenticeship world at the minute, so we're responding to them, and there is a huge emphasis on big organisations like us to find roles for younger people. Right. So we may be looking at focusing more on the entry-level opportunities so that we can hopefully go some way to help with the NEET crisis. So that's a big push.
NEET crisis.
Yes. So not in education, training, or help me out, girls. What else?
Employment.
That's the one. Thank you, Michael. So yeah, again, it's one of our acronyms that we all say, but then can never remember. So there's such a lot of individuals currently who are not that fall into that category. So there's incentives for employers. There's a change in there's a shift from those degree opportunities to entry-level roles to try and create them. So yeah, it's something that we've always done, but it's just a big focus at the minute.
And we've had a message in from Mahmood, our chair, who says a big shout out and thank you to you, Amanda, and the team about the work that you do, but particularly with the schools and apprenticeships. And I want to come on after this next song and talk about some of the T-level type stuff that
we
you
can
do.
do that. Yeah.
But yeah, he kind of did, our role as STH is about clearly providing healthcare, but education, anchor institutions. So that sounds, some of that neat stuff sounds pretty neat. Down with the kids.
Oh dear.
Anyway, on that,
On that note.
do you want to introduce the next song, Amanda?
Please.
Yeah.
So
I've embarrassed myself.
No, not at all. I picked the next one, which is Cole's Corner by Richard Hawley, because I'm a massive fan of the musical Standing at Sky's Edge, and it's one of my favourites off the soundtrack.
Well, here we go. It's a great
Thank
song,
you.
great Sheffield artist, Richard Hawley. That was, who was that? That was,
Richard Hawley, Cole's Corner.
do you know what? Do you know why I paused there? This is how my mind went. I was going to say that was Richard Coles. Now we could play some Richard Coles, couldn't we? But that wasn't Richard Coles, yeah. We were busy. I'll tell you, everyone, what we were doing. As you know, I like to play a bit of Taylor Swift. We're having a bit of a chat about which Taylor Swift's coming up. But anyway, let me get back in the game. So we're here. It's my Saturday soundcheck, and we're talking to our learning, education and development department. And one of the things that the team have worked really hard on is our relationship with the college. So, Shadab, if I kind of come to you, could you tell us a bit about what is that relationship with the college? I was down there on Tuesday, and it's fantastic, some of the things we've got there.
Yeah, so we do have an innovation suite down there for the T levels, and it's got our branding on it. So we've got the Sheffield Teaching Hospital branding on there, and obviously we do they do the teaching for the T level students, and the Rising Star was in one of the rooms as well. So it was funded by the T level funding from the was the employer fund.
It's Employer Support Fund.
Employer Support Fund, yes, and it's amazing. The suite that they've got. They can do all their practical moving and handling and everything within that. So, it's a great tool.
And T level, just for the old ones of us in here, what's the T level?
So the T levels are taught at the college. So it's equivalent to
it's a relatively new qualification, and it's a T level is a technical level, so that's the T instead of A level academic level.
So it's that level though.
Yeah, so it's equivalent to 3 A levels, but a T level involves a practical work placement. So there's a lot more kind of real life learning in it as well, with it being a technical qualification.
So what courses or qualifications do we offer then with the college?
So the college offer lots of different T-level programs, but
so it's them that offer them, but we import and work in partnership.
Yeah, we do. We work in partnership with them on it, and we're working in partnership on the adult nursing T-level there, and we support them through that college academy, and we offer placements. Right. So a T-level student would be aged 16 to 19, but it is a clinical placement, and they come and spend a day with us a week across. Well, they eventually they get about 315 hours of experience with us. Wow. So we have them from April through to March every year, and we place them across different clinical areas across the trust. Wards support us. Those clinical educators we mentioned earlier also support the T-level students, and they work alongside healthcare support workers and get practical real life experience. And what we've found is that that's put them in an amazing position to go on to either further education, or we actually have a T-level student, Favour, who works for us now.
Right. So, okay, so that's really helpful. So they're not necessarily coming out of the T levels, Shadab, and going into a job as such. It might be, it's just it's very practical. They're doing the equivalent of an A level, but with that
because they can go after it. If they wanted to, they could go to uni and have that experience with them. And if they wanted to do like nursing and whatever at uni, they can take it with them, and they would have that experience. Or they can, as Amanda said, start work straight away after it with us. They can go into support worker roles or any other roles that they wanted to. They don't necessarily need to stay in nursing. It gives them a variety of experiences within that role.
And I imagine you say they start at 16. That's
it's very young.
Yeah, how at 16 coming into a hospital environment?
It's quite an eye-opener. So we do a lot of work with them as part of the academy with the college. We do lots of interventions placement whilst they're with us, and then afterwards, so that they're prepared and they've got an idea of what actually happens on a ward. So luckily most of them never needed to be on an adult ward, and they've never been out there, and they're all different and things happen, and it's an interesting working environment and a real eye-opener for them. But it's a great way of working out whether this is the profession for you.
And I imagine, sorry,
Sorry,
Shadab.
no, I was gonna say, and they all get they all have like a placement manager and somebody there to mentor them and be there as their support, and they have their mentors at college as well, and then obviously our team as well. So they do get a lot of support within that.
Yeah. And that's where I was going to, our staff must be fantastic then in terms of welcoming, supporting, wrapping an arm around those.
Yeah,
individuals.
absolutely. They've been great. They obviously keep track on them, so they do let us know if they are that they've not attended, obviously for safety reasons, so we can know and we can see if they're okay and stuff. So they keep an eye on them. They make sure they're okay. They show them around. So they were really welcoming when we did our orientation with them. They took them around. They're so helpful and they're so friendly. Because we had a few that were obviously nervous because they are so young coming into that environment, and after it they were all so excited to start. They're like, oh, everyone's so friendly, and they even if the words they hadn't heard about the necessarily that area, and they weren't sure about it. As soon as they went in, they saw the staff, and they all got a mini tour. They afterwards they were like, we can't wait to start. It's amazing.
That's brilliant. And we've often talked, and we've talked on the show about one of the absolute strengths when Kirsten was here as chief executive is that the diversity of our staff. They're absolutely representing then the diversity of the people that we treat. So having that diversity of age and again background and education levels and experience must be brilliant and bring some real value to STH and our patients.
Yeah, we've had some amazing feedback on the cohort this year. There's some absolute superstars in there, and they are they're made for the job. Yeah. They've really found their niche, and this is such a good way of getting them through kind of and that qualification at A-level standards. So they're a real lovely bunch. So they're very lucky.
Shout out to them.
And we've had obviously when they are around the school holidays, they don't have to attend their placements, but we've had a few that actually
asked us if they could come in.
They could come in extra just on their own time because they just wanted to be helpful.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, let's have a song and then we'll come back. So who wants to introduce our next song? I forgot who. Joe, you'd picked this one.
So I picked this one. So this is Dolly Parton, Here You Come Again.
And for any reason, or just it is an absolute classic?
It's an absolute classic. It's my this week's go-to song.
So we had a message in from Mahmood, our chair, earlier. He's also asked me to mention a couple of things. On Wednesday at the Northern General Renal Outpatients, the team there welcomed the British Transplant Games flag as the first leg of the flag relay around Sheffield to commemorate the British Transplant Games. And they're coming to Sheffield between the 6th and the 9th of August, and the Lord Mayor and Lady Mayoress of Sheffield were there to welcome those. Listen more on Sheffield Hospital Radio. We're hoping to have some more features around the British Transplant Games, which has got athletes who have had a transplant and maybe even some live broadcasts from some of the events. And secondly, Mahmood says to give him a big shout out because tonight he's walking the catwalk at 6 o'clock in a fashion show at Coventry Cathedral to raise awareness of organ donation for South Asian Heritage Month, which is the whole of July. So if you're from an Asian background, you're twice as likely to need a transplant because of the underlying conditions like diabetes, but less likely to say yes to a donation. So awareness is key. So Mahmood's doing a fantastic job at the fashion show at Coventry tonight. Send us the pictures, Mahmood. We'll be pleased to see those. Okay. It is a big night tonight as well after the fashion show because England are playing again. So I thought I'd play this. I did play it last week. It is Wonderwall. And then we'll come back and we'll hear about maths and English support for our staff. Taylor Swift there. I thought we'd best play some at some point. It's me, Michael. It's my Saturday soundtrack. I can't believe we're nearly on midday, but a couple of things just I'm really keen to find out from the learning and education team. And one of them I know is a programme which I think is absolutely fantastic that we offer within STH, which is about maths and English for our own staff. Shadab, do you want to tell us a bit about that programme?
So it's maths and English for adults. It's for anyone obviously within STH. So another programme that is delivered by the Sheffield College. And it's all funded, so there's no cost to the trust or the departments. It's basically just getting the functional skills at the level 2, which is part of the also entry level requirement if they wanted to do an apprenticeship with the trust. So it's the trust requirements. But yeah, it's just the level 2, which is equivalent to GCSE level at grade C or the new 4 and above.
Yeah. And I suppose this is then, so as I understand it, am I right? This is staff who maybe didn't get their GCSE or O levels back in the day.
Yeah, it is.
Don't have that qualification. We provide that education. Then they do come out with a certificate.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So it's anyone that wants to have that certificate, and like you said, that they've not had it in school, or maybe they've done it previously and they've forgotten about it, or they don't have the qualifications. Because it's part of the requirements of going some of the roles as well. So if they do want to advance, we don't want anything keeping them back. So it's just supporting the staff to reach whatever they want to do. And
I think it is out of, I know we do so many amazing courses, but for me, and when I talk to staff, it feels like one of those real gateway ones about they want to go on, they want to do further education, but as you say, there's that minimum requirement. We give them the time to do that. How long are they usually on the course for? How do they study that?
So it's a 14 weeks.
Yeah, it's between 12 and 14 weeks, and we run multiple cohorts a year.
Right.
Yeah, so the next one starts in September.
And is that face-to-face, online?
It is face-to-face, because we feel like that's when they get the most support as well. So they've got a tutor there, so they have it once a week. The sessions are once a week, and they attend on site, and the tutors obviously teach their sessions and support with anything that they might be struggling with.
No, for me, I know we do some wonderful, wonderful courses, but I think it's so fundamental. I think it's fantastic. But then ahead of that, Amanda, we also do lots of engagement with schools as well. So do you want to tell us a bit about our young people programme?
Yes, so this is a bit of a rework of some of our school engagement offers. So we've recently had a bit of a look at what we were doing, and then had a big discussion about what we can continue, what's best for the students, what gives them what's the biggest impact, how we can really support them. And so we've come up with 3 programmes that now sit under the banner of the Young People programme. So these are for individuals who are between the ages of 14 and 18 at school in Sheffield or college or sixth form in Sheffield, and they are a mixture of different things. So like a lot of our job roles, you have to go through an occupational health check to become a member of staff with health screening. So we have to do that for students too. So we've got options for those who can get through that check and for those that can't. So we've developed 3 programmes. One is the Career Insights programme, and that's job shadowing. So they will come to us for a week in school holidays, so they don't have to miss any of their school to do it. They will spend a day with us doing an induction and then an orientation to their placement area. It's 3 days in a placement, and that can be anywhere. That can be across with medical colleagues, nursing colleagues, through to estates, stores, anywhere. We can give them a real experience. And then they also come back to us on day 5 for a bit of an evaluation, a certificate, and a well done for achieving it. So it's been incredibly popular. We've not promoted it massively, and we've been oversubscribed for our first cohort in July. Wow. The next one will be October half term, and we'll be advertising that after July is done. So we've done it slightly differently, trying to, like I say, make the biggest impact, and like you said earlier about representing the diverse nature of our the communities that we serve. We're really interested in supporting those that live, go to school in the areas of Sheffield that don't necessarily get all these opportunities. So, especially close to the Northern General site. So, there's lots of schools that we interact with and offer these opportunities to. If they can't get through the health screening checks, we offer a tour. Okay. And because there's no health screening check, we can offer that to 14 to 18-year-olds. The placements are just for 16 to 18-year-olds. So we've developed, and again, this is one of Shadab's projects. So she's doing 2 tours in August, one at the Northern General site and one over at the Royal Hallamshire. and we're taking them places they might not necessarily think exist. So we're off to see our colleagues in the patient booking hub. We're going to go meet estates and facilities at the Northern General. So we're calling it behind the scenes tour.
Yeah.
So again, it's raising awareness of those roles that, there's 19,000, 20,000 of us that work here. And there's so many of us on that front line doing the day-to-day stuff that you think a hospital does. And it's fascinating. Well, I find it fascinating. The back scenes of catering. It's amazing.
Yeah. Can I book on for one?
Yeah, yes, of course, you're very welcome.
I'm asking out live on air.
Yeah, no, of course.
Seriously, I mean, because I'm so proud of STH, and I agree with you. I feel very fortunate when you can get out and talk to those teams that you just don't see, kind of as patients and visitors.
Yeah.
So
Tell you what, we'll do your bespoke tour.
I'll be checking on you like they do on films when they're getting into facilities. What films like there's some film where there's some guy is it an Austin Powers or something, and they sneak on the tour to get into it. That'd be me pretending to be a 16-year-old.
Like the undercover boss, was it?
Yeah. No, that sounds brilliant though. But I mean, again, and we'll come on. I'm going to play us another song, and we'll come on then and talk about how staff, patients, relatives, members of our community can find out about all these opportunities, because they are just so fantastic. But let's have we've got time for a couple more songs. Let's have this song. Joe, you've picked this one. Tell us what it is and why you've picked that.
So this is Pulp, my absolute favourite, and this is Common People.
That was the best dancing ever there. I can't believe it. We're at the end of the show. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming in, learning, education, development. Amanda, tell us really quickly, if staff want to find out more, where would they go?
We've got ourselves all over. So we are on SharePoint. So you can get to that from the intranet. Anybody clicking on the web page on any STH device. There's Palms. I can't forget our colleagues in Palms with this amazing dashboard. And we've been talking today, and I'm sat here taking credit for all of this, but we've got our colleagues who work with us, Lindsay and Sean, who do a lot of the work, and Lindsay looks after that dashboard now, and it's great. So there's all the information in there. And Learning, Education and Development also has a few social media channels. So we're on LinkedIn and we're on Instagram. No, Facebook. Sorry, that's my age. So it's so we do try and promote what we're doing for staff, followers, get involved.
And for people outside the trust, so all those kind of college courses and youth programs, if you're not a member of staff, where would you go looking? So obviously website, social media.
Yeah, and on our website there is, and comms are great at sharing some of the stuff that we're doing too on the main Sheffield Teaching Hospitals channels as well. So we have a page under the Brilliant Place to Work tab on the website about our school engagement projects, and we have an apprenticeship page as well.
Amazing. And Shadab, kind of shout out to the teams. What would you say to anyone thinking about, how they develop a course or how they'd want to educate their teams? How would they get in touch with you, and what advice would you give to them?
Again, like Amanda said, we're accessible through so many channels. The website, on Palms, we've got our group shared email addresses, so you can email us personally, and we always try to answer all the inquiries as soon as we can. So there's so many. Just get in touch with us, just email us. We're happy to support.
Amazing. And Joe, our rising star, you've just come out the other end of a programme. What would your advice be to someone who sat there thinking, oh, is this for me?
My advice to anybody would be take whatever opportunities to grab some training with the trust. Yeah. There's so much out there. Do it just for yourself. It benefits you, it benefits the patients. But just do it. Take whatever opportunity you've got to do it.
Yeah, amazing, brilliant. Well, thank you for coming in, all three of you. I've really enjoyed it. It's been an absolute ball spending 2 hours with you. Look out for all the information. Do get involved. Do keep on learning, always learning, as we kind of said at the top of the show. That's all from me. Next week, I've got Ellie Colton, BBC Radio Sheffield DJ, presenter of our Thank You Awards, to give me some top tips, but talk about some of the work that she does in the health arena. Otherwise, have a fantastic week. Don't forget, you can listen again to this show and any of our other shows on Spotify or on Facebook Reels. Sheffield Hospital Radio is there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, thanks to our fantastic volunteers. So if you've tuned in for the first time today, you can tune in there. Otherwise, look after yourselves, have a great week, and see you same time next week.